Good morning, folks. It is Friday, October 10th. It's 8:14 in the morning. We're getting ready for some breakfast. Potatoes make a great breakfast, so I chopped up a few. One or two of them, or five. But I'm just gonna cook these up in the air fryer over there, and make me some wedges. Yeah, wedges. Yeah, that's what I'm making. I'm making wedges. Some potato wedges. You know, sort of like some French fries without the oil on them. That's what I'm going for here. So I got me a little Cajun seasoning here to add to the flavor of them. Country Bob's Cajun seasoning. We about eat ours with a little ketchup and stuff, you know. I like flavor on my food. It's that southern in me. Plus, this has got a lot of, salt and other things that we may need as well. So old Dr. John McDougall really praised the nutrient density in potatoes. Fascinating life and man, that John McDougall. Now, I didn't really know him that much, because I followed Atkins so closely for so long, and the stuff he promoted for so many years. I just kind of didn't pay much attention to Dr. McDougall, and now he's gone, But I think having a stroke like he did when you're 18 years old, living through it like he did, because it weakened the whole left side of his body, That's what strokes do, they mess you up pretty good. And, his heart is located on the left side of his body, just like all of ours are. So, for him to go through that, become a doctor, and throughout his entire life go get multiple and different degrees and help so many people and develop the starch solution and the stuff that he has done for so many can't be denied. I mean, that's a feat of strength in itself, to be weakened like that from such an event at a young age and live to the age of 77. Now, some people say, "Oh, he looked great. He looked bad when he was when he died. Him and his wife looked bad." My parents are in their 70s, and trust me, they're not looking like they did 10 years ago. It's gonna happen to all of us, folks, like it or not. But yeah, he was a living miracle blessing from God. Speaking of religion, I kind of, looked into what kind of starches Jesus would have ate in his time, So we all know he ate leaner meats and stuff like fish and things like that, but he also ate, a lot of barley, different types of grains I read up on, things like, potatoes, tubers and things. He ate figs for fruit, some dates, he ate dates, different things like that. But yeah, he definitely ate a lot of starchy type of foods. And I'm a Christian, so if it was good enough, if all the foods that I'm eating was good enough for Jesus, that's all I need to know. I can care less what the cavemen were eating. Okay? Okay, and there's been some studies lately where they've examined some of the teeth, and I mean this is pretty recent. Well, they've examined some of the teeth of some Neanderthals, and they have discovered complex cooked type of starches and foods within their teeth. That the only way that they could have produced the minerals and the scientific stuff, you know, that they were looking for on the teeth of these Neanderthals was for them to have to have cooked these things in the first place. So cooking goes back a lot longer than you might think it would, right? There's a concept. When they learn how to cook meat, they're going to try to cook everything. What does this taste like when you put it in the fire? What does this taste like when you put it in the fire? It's called intelligence, evolution, if that's your thing. They evolved being our test guinea pig, so we don't have to, you know. So they did all this stuff, so basically we don't have to now. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, you know, just say, oh, we ain't nothing but fruit eaters, or oh, we ain't nothing but meat eaters, or oh, we ain't nothing but vegetable eaters, you know, huh? If you're willing to, you know, say, oh, well, I'm gonna eat like my ancestors. Well, why not just live like they did too? Just so, you know, you just want to eat everything raw. Just might as well throw, you know, other common sense things out the window too. You know, if you don't need a stove for cooking, you don't need one for heating either, right? Or you don't need fire for cooking. I guess you don't need one for heating your house either. Just, you know, cover up in a bunch of blankets and stuff. Well, wait a minute. What are those blankets going to be made of? Are they going to be made out of fruit peels? Where did animal hides come from? Clothes, you know, our earliest clothes were what? How long, you know, is the maple and the fig leaf gonna last before it, you know, starts to get brittle and fall apart on you? Come on now. This is why I live a flexible lifestyle. Mostly plant based, because I can see clearly that there's some logic behind the weight loss that comes with a plant based, but also I'm not so religiously caught up in some kind of aspect of, you know, I'm not going to ever eat, you know, some kind of chicken or fish again in my life. You know, right now I can't eat red meat because I'm allergic to tick. Ticks made me allergic to it. Tick bites. Like I said, I have a whole channel, got over 1,000 subscribers. You know, where I was militating back in the teens. You know, from 2017 to 2019. On into 2020 a little bit there, you know, I run a channel. I was meditating. I got ticks on me. One of the consequences of that is the alpha-gal syndrome that ticks release into the bloodstream that causes you to have allergic reactions to red meat, which is what sent me down all of these rabbit holes in the first place, and is why I'm here with you now. But yeah. Yeah, Dr. John McDougall, he deserves more respect. He put in the work, earned his titles, his degrees. A lot of research he's put out into the world. He deserves respect. He deserves respect. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, that old age is coming for us all, and we can make things look as bad or as good as we want to. I mean, I've seen some strokes go on other diets as well. Recently, some people are living with those consequences now, and have been on all meat diets and had them. And I don't think anything except for a little bit of common sense and maybe not overdoing it so much, things like that is gonna save us. And ultimately, we all got to face the same thing. But you talk about Johnny McDougall. There's been a lot healthier people. Look at the wrestling industry. A lot healthier people die a lot younger than what he did. Food for thought. Food for thought. In fact, I've told this story before. There's a road named after the high school that I went to right now. About 10, 15 years ago, there was a principal there. I knew him as Coach Hendricks. He was like a coach, and he worked his way up into, he did taught classes. He was a coach, and he worked his way up into principal of that high school. Died on the treadmill, healthy as way healthier than me. Way healthier than me. In his 40s. None of our diets are going to make us immortal and live forever, no matter which one you're following. All we can do is the best we can. All we can do is the best we can. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing the best I can. I'm not claiming one thing's better than the other, because I have no idea. And my perspective of it is neither does anybody else. But I think that some people know a little more about eating certain ways better than others, and then you got ones pretending to know that they have all the answers, and they don't. And they don't. But the last thing in the world I would do was to go up against an educated man who I have seen. I have seen him on some of his interviews where people are looking for that gotcha, where he winds up with the ultimate gotchas in those interviews, and winds up putting a diagnosis on them at the same time. Because he's got that ability, he's got that education, that background to do so. Yeah, pretty amazing, to live with a weakened left side of your heart, as long as he has done after a stroke like he suffered. Yeah, I wouldn't toss out his principles and his teachings just because just like for the rest of us, the end is coming. Just because the end come for him, it's coming for us all at some point. You can't just say, "Oh, that's it. He's gone. Now I have everything I need to know to prove, that he was wrong." Do you really? Because I don't think you do. I don't think you do, and I don't think you should. But yeah. When the human invented fire, that's when intelligence skyrocketed. When he invented fire as a tool, the use of fire was our first tool for many things. We learned how to harness that. It was the birth of our intelligence. And the birth of our more modern diet than our primitive diet. We're adapted to a more modern style diet. It's just the way things are. It's just the way we've evolved. Run from it if you want to, but I'm right. All right, folks. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Going to get me some French fries. That's all I got for this one. So until the next one, you folks have a good one.